So we back, and I'm gonna tell people how I study. So I know a lot of people been wondering or asking me, "Oh, damn, man, how'd you get through school?" Da 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 da. So I'm gonna tell y'all this shit right now. It was not linear. Like throughout middle school, high school, I was able to just get by, just read over stuff real quick, and then take a test. I'll do well just by reading over little things really quick. That was it. But when I got to college, remember my first test? It was like a month in. I had a sociology test. I still remember this exactly to this day. So I had a sociology test. I took the test, barely kind of read over how I did in high school, like 2 days before. Got a D. Got like a 68, I think. And I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? When I left, I was like, damn, I can't believe this. I got a 68. And I think for that class, we had 3 tests and a final and a paper. So it was like 5 things so that we had to do. So I was like, all right, well, I got to change stuff around. So literally, this is what I did, right? So she had PowerPoint slides. For all y'all in college, y'all pretty much familiar with PowerPoint slides. So what I did, I would read the material for the test, right? I would just read that chapter, that section, or whatever was going to be on that test, that little section of that. I'll read it, right? And reading it kind of gets your brain kind of familiar, like what's all there, how much you need to know, how much you're going to have to study, how hard that section might be. Reading just kind of gives you an overview versus just trying to memorize things one by one. Reading the whole thing kind of lets you get familiar with everything so you don't feel overwhelmed when it's time to like really get down to like the specifics, right? So I read the material, right? Then from there, I'll make a study guide of what I'm reading. So it might be like, oh, Thomas Jefferson was born in 1946. And I'll write down, hey, when was Thomas Jefferson born? So I make a whole study guide of what I just read. Then I'll answer the questions to that study guide. So why do I make a study guide of what I just read? So I have to keep reading shit. That's called passive learning. You can't just read, all right, then take a test. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. So you read to get your brain like a warm up, and then like you really like actively learn by looking at the study guide, writing down your answers. This gets your brain in your hand coordinated to what you're seeing. So active learning, that's the only way that things stick in your mind. For 95% of people, cannot just, if anybody could just read some shit and get straight A's, I really want to see like your genetic code, because I could never just read something, just memorize a math equation and how to apply it, memorizing science and how to apply it. That's hard. Just memorizing stuff like that and just applying it to a test and applying it to a question that's in depth. You know what I'm saying? So read, make a study guide to those questions, answer those questions in the study guide by writing. And that's what I would do. Then I'll reread, because chances are that when you read through that first time, you probably got like 85% of the stuff down that you really needed. Once you reread again, you'll see what you were weak at. So by rereading, you see, oh, I missed this, I missed that. So instead of waiting to the test and realize, oh, damn, I missed that 15%, you catch it right then. So you catch that last little 15% when you reread, add those questions to the study guide, memorize those questions on top of what you already have, and by that time, you should already be 95% kind of what you went through thorough. You know what I'm saying? So by that time, like 95%, you reread, got what you didn't get the first time, so that way, once you go back to the test, you won't be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And how do I know this? Because I went through this before, and I missed stuff that I shouldn't have missed, and I've gotten B's on exam I shouldn't have got A's on. Got C's on exams, shouldn't got a B's on. Got A minuses, I shouldn't got A pluses on, because I messed up. So now, instead of you learning from your own mistakes, learn from my mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. They don't make the mistakes themselves. So reread, get the new information that you might have missed, add that to the study guide, learn that the same way you were learning that. You know what I'm saying? Read, do that, and then after you're all confident with your study guide, You look at your PowerPoint slides, you should be able to reread those sections quick. And now when you read, it should be like, oh, I understand. Like now everything should all come together from actively and passively learning. And this is, for this, the study guide thing, I use this for like, you could use this for any type of classes, but when it's questions that involve like long responses, you kind of want to have a study guide for that. You know what I'm saying? If it's simple stuff like one word answer type, anatomy type questions, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff that require remembering dates, like history type questions, you can use flashcards. That's another thing. But what I'm trying to say is you can't just read. You can't just read. That's not how any successful businessman, entrepreneur, scientist, lawyer, that's not how you learn, by just reading. Reading helps a lot, but you have to add other things to supplement that. That's like me going to the gym. Okay, I'm a squat, but squatting isn't going to get me strong. Just squatting isn't going to get me strong legs. You got to squat. Then you got to do single leg exercises like lunges. Then you got, all right, well, now you got your quads and your glutes. Now you got to do deadlifts, single leg deadlifts. You know what I'm saying? You got to do glute ham raises. You got to get your hamstrings right. You got to get your hips strong. You got to do calf raises to get your calves strong. It's more than just one thing. Reading is a big baseline. That's the meat and potatoes. Just like squatting and working out is the meat and potatoes for your legs. But you got to supplement it with other things to get the best results you want. You know what I'm saying? And that's what anything you do, you're going to have things that's your main thing. Bench press for your chest. All right, cool. But you got to add dumbbells, dumbbell press, dumbbell incline press. You know what I'm saying? You got to have shoulder press to get top of your chest, your shoulders right. You know what I'm saying? You got to add things more than just your primary lifts or your primary study habits. So you can read, then reading, do flashcards. But don't just do flashcards and not read. You have to do both. You have to find a median. You can't just do one. It's always going to be something lacking. If you're not changing, you're dying. So if you think, oh, I'm eventually get A's by just doing the same shit, no. You think, oh, I'm eventually get in shape by just doing the same things. No, that's not how it goes. That's not life. You better be able to adapt. How do you think, if people were thinking like you were thinking, or for my less of all people were thinking like, oh, me doing this and I'm just going to beat through my head doing the same thing. If people thought like that back when we were cavemen, we would still be living like cavemen. Obviously, people realize, damn, shit, well, it takes less time if we put some shit with some wheels together and roll it down the hill versus us trying to carry these big ass rocks by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? People evolve. So obviously, if things aren't working for you, you keep failing, you keep not seeing progress and working out, you have to change. Look up things to change. You know what I'm saying? Don't just stay the same and eventually shit will get better. That's not how things are. For unsuccessful people, that's their lifestyle. They think, I don't know what you could think. I don't know how you could think doing the same thing every day is going to get you where you want to be. But that's literally how a lot of people, majority of people think. Progressive people, people with a growth mindset think that would change, they'll eventually get to where they want to be. You know what I'm saying? I had a plan going into college I thought was going to work when I was 18. By the time I got through my first semester, I knew that plan was going to change. You know what I'm saying? If I hadn't adapted, if I hadn't picked up new habits, I would be done. Well, in the college sense, I would have been done early. You better learn to adapt. So that's how I study. You know what I'm saying? I read, make study guides. If not a study guide, flashcards. If not that, you guys can figure out something else that works for you. But those two things really help. It's consistent. A lot of people do those. Do those two things. Go back, reread, see what I missed. Add that to my study guide or flashcards. Write down answers to those. Memorize those. Then I'll reread again, lastly, to make sure it's all coming together. And that doesn't mean I stop. I keep doing that. Until the test gets here. So that way, when I get to class, I'm not like 85, 90% of people, flipping through pages and shit. What do I need to flip through pages for if I already know the answers? You know what I'm saying? You go into class, you calm. You don't got to worry about, are you ready? Like, I don't ask that. I just sit down. I'm calm. I don't even like showing up to test till it's like 5 minutes before the class starts. I don't even like being around people. That stuff gets me anxious. Go in, I'm calm, get my stuff done, walk out. You know what I'm saying? Be like that even when it comes to working out. Have your plan ready to work out. That way you're not going there looking dumb. just looking dumb, looking ignorant. I'll talk about that in another video. So that's how I study, y'all. Real talk. Get at me in the comments and like and subscribe.